Hi YouTube, hope you're well. I hope you're well, and I hope you enjoyed the 4th of July if you're in America. And yeah, good. I've become so prepared for my videos. Okay, get my brain to it. We did I was going to talk about Egyptian beings, and the pyramids, and how are the pyramids made. So last month, through the questions that were asked through Patron, one question that sticks out to mind was, how were the pyramids made? And I'd never looked into the pyramids, which was interesting, considering I've been doing Q&As for a long time. I love doing the Q&As though. It was so I did a journey. So what I do is remote view, and with remote viewing, everything is, you have access to everything if you want. And I mean, everything, I'm sure there's things that, but over time the site's got bigger and more in depth, and the understanding of consciousness and who we are and all that it's been the biggest theme in my remote viewing. Obviously there's little stuff along the way, you know, if it's celebrities or politics and all that, but the core of the thread is consciousness and evolution and how we evolve, and the manipulation on the human race, and that has obviously been an evolution through the Q&As that I've done. This question of Egypt hasn't been brought up, which is a bit odd now after all these years, but it was brought up last month. And anyway, so I went in, and I have, you know, with my heart, it just goes to that information. Everyone has access to this. It's you don't have to be special or anything. You just have to learn. Your brain just has to be trained to go into those areas. Okay, so what I saw was I was in the desert in Egypt, and it was all this sand. It was like this sand, and this human being, this Egyptian man, came running, and he grabbed me. And he was like, we've got to get out, we've got to run, like there's danger. And he was shouting that Mother Earth has gone, like she's disappeared, she's not in the ground anymore. And then he stopped, and he was like, they're coming. And I was like, and what I started to hear, like a technology in the sky. It was like technology. And then I started to view in the landscape, and I started to see the pyramid, and it was sound technology that built the pyramids, and they were built by ETs. So these Egyptians are ETs, obviously not natural to Earth, and they built the pyramids. And the reason they built the pyramids was to stay in contact with beings outside of Earth. So it was like communication devices that, and also it's communication devices, and I think it was transporting devices. I'll have to go and check the video. I can't remember now. Maybe transporting devices as well. However, that I saw. So the Egyptian beings came in. Now, before that, we didn't worship anything. We didn't worship anything. We didn't worship. There was no religion. There was no gods. There was nothing on Earth that represented that. We didn't have to. We had everything within us. But the loss of Gaia, that was less female energy, less energy in the sands, in the trees, in the skies, less energy. And the fear that happens, we start to receive back into ourselves. And what these ETs that we've called the Egyptians, that are not actually Egyptians, they just landed in Egypt. They started to get us to worship them. So these beings came from a hierarchy, and if we didn't worship them, they would kill us. So we were forced to worship and forced to love outside of ourselves. And that's fucked up our system, basically. So people put all their energy into people outside of themselves, hoping that they're going to save us. And they never do, because that's not how the Watcher system works. So So they screwed up the energy system, brought in the sacrifice of human race and the fear that you're going to be killed if you don't do A, B, C, and D. They brought in that. And they also forced us to learn languages because we didn't have language. So they forced to learn a language that they could understand. And this is where dyslexia comes from. So dyslexia is the fear of not being able to learn. And then the mind goes, I can't learn, and gets really frightened. And if you travel back into the DNA of when that happened, it came from the Egyptians, because if you didn't bloody learn the language, they would kill you. So, but with the lack of female energy, the Mother Earth kind of receding back to the people on Earth receding back, the atmosphere of Earth started to change. Less female energy. You, each individual here on Earth, creates the atmosphere, not just Gaia, not just Mother Earth. She doesn't just create it, we all do. And if we're less in our bodies, then there's less atmosphere. It changes the atmosphere. So as the atmosphere started to change because of the fear and the sacrifice and everything that was going on Earth, the abuse that started to take place, sickness came in. And actually, who was getting sick? It was more vulnerable to the sickness was actually the Egyptians. They weren't native to Earth anyway, so they were vulnerable anyway to our atmosphere. But with the lacking of their abuse, it started to decrease their female energy, which changed the atmosphere, and they started to get sick, and that's the reason why they left. They had to leave because they were dying here on Earth. They studied Earth. So one of their projects was to study and to rape Earth as much as they could from Earth's resources and get us to be slaves. So slavery was born in Egypt. That's where slavery was born. And slavery was born not through human race, but through ETs to the human race. We've all been slaves. And if you worship something out of yourself, if you worship a government, a god, a person, an individual outside of yourself, that means you are stuck in a slave society, slave system. That's where the heart worships the physical reality, where it should be the other way, where the mind worships the heart. So that means you loving yourself, and everything that's connected to your heart, the collective, it all goes to that anyway. So it goes to Mother Earth, goes to your families, your children, your partners anyway. So loving yourself is what they took away from us, and it was forced through the killing of the human race. So that's what we found out. That was just a bit of a clip. Obviously, there's so much more information about it. And if you want to learn more, then doors are always open. You're always welcome to join Patron. And I do a Q&A every couple of weeks. If you want to learn about yourself, if you want to understand yourself more, I do one-to-ones appointments. You're welcome to book an appointment. You just have to send an email to findthelight103@gmail.com. I'll put a link up for Patron if you want to come and join, and there's hours and hours and hours and hours worth of information on there. And I also do videos each week. And there's healing groups as well. So I do healing groups where you come on, you can ask me a question. Becky, can you have a look at this? It may be something physical, it may be something emotional, it may be something going on in your life, and I can have a look and help guide you as much as possible. When I first did this, I was called myself a healer and realised actually I'm not a healer at all. Each individual is their own healer, but I'm just a little light to help you understand things a bit more. And through the understanding, balance is made. So that's what I do. Okay, I'm sending lots of love to everybody. Have a lovely weekend. Happy 4th of July for the Americans. Hope you had a good one. I ate lots of yummy food. And I'll see you all soon. Okay, big hugs. Bye.